Hey y'all, today I'm really excited to talk to you about something that I discovered just a few months ago that has radically changed how I do everyday life as a mom, as a blogger, as a wife, as a cook, as all of the hats that we wear. It's helped me to really manage all that. I've mentioned bullet journaling a couple times since then on Instagram, just in passing, and a lot of you have asked questions and said, hey, would you please tell us your method? I've heard of that. I don't know what it is. So I was really excited today to just do a quick little video along with today's post and just share a little bit of insight as to what this is, how I found it, and how it's just working so well for me. So as I said, I had heard about bullet journaling and I had no clue what it was, but I was intrigued because the system that I was using was just not working for me. So I am very much a free spirit, if you've not guessed that. I am not a structured person. But I found that I need structure, that when I impose some sort of structure that's still flexible on myself, I function so much better. And some of that is having some sort of organized system to keep track of all the things that are just constantly floating around in my brain. My husband and I were talking about that recently. It's so funny how men and women really are created so differently. For me, my mind is always multitasking. I am dreaming up a recipe for dinner. I'm going through my blog to-do list. I'm thinking about a craft to do with Rosie tomorrow, and it's all there at once, just kind of spinning and feeding off of each other. And if I don't get that down somewhere, it's lost. Or I'm super stressed and overwhelmed because all of that's just taking up my mental space. So what I used to do is I would have kind of a traditional planner, but then I would keep a different notebook for all of these different areas of my life. So I had a little notebook about like this for like my quiet time and prayer journaling and sermon notes. I had that notebook. I would have another notebook for ideas for Rosie and motherhood and things to do with her. I had another notebook for the blog and to-do lists and ideas and post ideas. I had another notebook for my oil business, which I spend a lot of time on, with the same thing, to-do list, ideas, all that. I had a book for meal planning and for recipes, and it's ridiculous. I had my stack of giant notebooks, and the issue with that is the system is too complicated. So I would have them scattered all around the house and then realize they'd kind of get lost periodically. When I needed one, I couldn't find it. I'm constantly having to go through all these notebooks to find what I need. And then when I'm out and about, I don't have that stack of 10 notebooks with me. And so I have to be here to have thoughts that get put down on paper. And so something had to give. I realized that my mind was just struggling to sift through all of the things that I'm trying to accomplish and tackle on a daily basis that we all are faced with. So I started Googling a lady that I love so much and follow, Edie from Life and Grace, said something about bullet journaling, and I went and watched her little video on the system that she had, and I'm going to link to that in the post because that's where I got this idea from. I did not come up with any of this, but I did want to share just how it's kind of working for me. So make sure you go check out her resource on that. It's amazing. And it's been huge. And so basically the idea of bullet journaling is that we have one notebook. For all of those things I just mentioned, we have one notebook. And to keep it organized, the key to bullet journaling is just that in the front, we have a little table of contents. Okay, and then as you're going through it, you number your pages. So in the table of contents, I write over to the right what the page number is, and then I write whatever my title is that I want to remember it by. Okay, so I started this, I think maybe in November, maybe late October. It's when I finally discovered it, said something has to give, I've got to give this a try. And since then, I have filled up this much notebook. But it is everything, y'all, from monthly goals to weekly schedules, to meal planning, to sermon notes, to Christmas lists, to grocery lists, my prayer journals. It's all in here. And The best part is it's super organized. I can go through my table of contents in 2 seconds and find what it was I was looking for. Whereas before, I'm sifting through all these different notebooks. I watch a lot of videos and podcasts and read a lot about things that I'm trying to do. And I always want to go back and find my notes on that. And I never can because they're buried in who knows what notebook, wherever it is. So now that's made it so easy for me to just organize my thoughts. And so the difference once I started this has been amazing. I carry this with me most everywhere I go so that it's super easy to jot down thoughts or ideas as they come. And one thing Edie said really stuck out to me, and I've definitely seen this happen for myself, is that by doing this, my mind is freer. Like, I have more joy because I have actual mental space to think about other things. And I know that once it's in the notebook, it's there and I can go back to it later. I don't have to keep these running lists in my head anymore. And so since I started this, I've really found that not only is my mind freed up, but I'm becoming more effective. I'm actually more intentional with my time. The to-do list actually get done as compared to what's in my mind or what I put on a notebook and then lost. And it's just really made a huge difference in organizing our life and helping me to really prioritize and focus on what's important and get all of these multitasking working mama thoughts down on paper. So I would so suggest you try this if that's something that you feel like you need, if you feel like you're overwhelmed, overworked, you just can't get it all done, you can't remember everything. This fixed so much of that for me, and I have a feeling that it would for you too. Just having it all in one place, at your fingertips, ready to go back to. One last thing for me that's been huge is I love going back and reading my prayer journals. I do a prayer journal almost every day, and there's always so much goodness in there that comes out as I'm writing that God reveals to me. I love going back and reading those. And then my yearly goals, like here's my 2017 goal page and my journal for kicking off 2017 and what we envision for the year. I'm so bad about writing all that down, and then I literally don't go back and look at it the whole year. So I've already gone back to these things like 3 and 4 times this year and reread them to just reaffirm where we're headed and reaffirm kind of what God's doing and what He showed me when I wrote that. So I suggest you try it. It's been awesome for us. Thanks for all the questions about this. I hope that answered them. It really is such a simple system, but it is life-changing for all of us busy, overworked ladies who need some sort of way to organize it all. Thanks, guys. Good luck with your bullet journal.